Is your current job your purpose? Maybe, maybe not. Are the things you're doing your purpose? Maybe, maybe not. But here's a more helpful question. Who are you becoming through what you're doing? Purpose is one of the deepest desires of the human heart, and no one has a definitive answer to what your true purpose is except you. What we can do, however, is study the lives of others, observe their struggles and their contributions, and what parts they worked. In so doing, we gain wisdom in the affairs of life, because in a multitude of counsel there is safety. So in this video, I'll do one thing. I will present to you some striking lives and characters, and I ask that you listen attentively, not just to their stories, but to what the Lord may be saying through them to you. Now, think about King David. He might have thought killing the lion and the bear was the peak of his purpose, and that was an accomplishment indeed. It looked like the greatest testimony he could ever achieve. But come to think of it, David's purpose was never to become the greatest animal slayer in Israel. If he spent his life killing every lion in the forest and every bear in the wild, what would that amount to when Goliath is mocking the covenant of God and defying the armies of the God of Israel? When David arrived at the battle, he didn't come as a warrior. He came as an errand boy. But purpose has a way of calling your name even when you're not looking for it. The moment he heard Goliath's words, something in his spirit responded. Is there no cause? There was the moment David realized, perhaps this was why I survived the lion. This was why I overcame the bear. This was why God trained my hands for war. This was why I was anointed in secret. To me belonged this matter. I'm made for more. What about Luke, the writer of two books in the Bible, the Gospel according to St. Luke and the Acts of the Apostles? Luke might have thought the best he could accomplish was to follow Paul while being a medical doctor until he encountered true purpose. God said, I'm not against you being a physician and even following my servant Paul, but I have a greater purpose for you as you follow Paul. I will use the precision of a surgeon from your training to carefully craft two books of the Bible. And I've told you before, he wrote the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of the Apostles. Two books that will shape the cause of nations. And of course, the destiny of the Christian church forever. Have you considered Nehemiah? You might have thought that he was merely raised to become the king's cupbearer, an honorable role indeed, but not a historic one. The Lord said, I'm not against you being the cupbearer of the emperor, but I will use that to fulfill my righteous cause. So when he heard the walls of Jerusalem is broken down, and the people of God are in great distress and affliction, the burden of his purpose gripped him like leper upon a woman. He couldn't shake the burden of his purpose off his shoulders until the king noticed. Nehemiah, you're carrying something, aren't you? What is it? You know the story. He built the walls of Jerusalem in 52 days and wrote a short book with only 13 chapters after his name that will be read and remembered until the end of time. Have you seen God? Have you seen how God works? Known unto God are all his works from the foundation of the earth. You might think your current victories are the pinnacle of your purpose, but the lion you have killed might not be your true purpose. The bear you have killed may not be your purpose. They were training your hands for a moment heaven would say, step forward and come up hither. You are made for more. Is your current job your purpose? Maybe, maybe not. Well, the Bible says, whatever your hands finds to do, do with all your might. But remain open because you are made for more. This is wisdom in the affairs of life with Tabe Abane. And please remember, I will continue this series and show you more other characters God used their routines and bring purpose out of. I will see you in my next video.